Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for our health chat this evening or whenever you are watching this. I am so excited to be talking about men's health tonight. I think a lot of times we don't address men's health as much as we need to. A lot of times I think it's overlooked that they either don't need it or think that they don't care about their health, but really it's really important to be informed and really focus on a healthy lifestyle for men. So you're going to hear from three of us this evening. Myself, I'm Mackenzie, and you're going to hear from Pete and Rachel Tabor, a phenomenal couple with a lot of knowledge surrounding health and nutrition, Shaklee Nutrition. So I'm really excited to hear them speak tonight as well. We're going to be touching base on a few different topics, all surrounding men's health. We're going to be talking about some important statistics, some important lifestyle things such as nutrition, fitness, stress relief, and then also how Shaklee Nutrition ties into that and how that all contributes to a healthy lifestyle for men. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first slide, I was really surprised when I read this actually. So according to a survey by Men's Health Magazine and CNN, 1/3 of American men do not go to the doctor for checkups, which is a pretty astonishing number. So why is it important to go to these checkups and see these numbers and see what's going on with your health? So it's really important to be proactive to start with, and most importantly, to be informed. So finding out your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your triglycerides, your blood sugar numbers, all of this is information telling you what changes you need to make to your health. It's really invaluable information because your health is the most important thing that you need. So it's really easy to look at these numbers, take a look at what lifestyle changes you can make, and it's basically a map to better health. Also to evaluate, why are these numbers elevated? What are you doing? Maybe you're eating a certain way or not exercising enough. This is just a great way to kind of see a map of where you need to go from here. So regular checkups and screenings can really help in taking a look at those numbers and finding out what lifestyle changes you need to make. So let's take a little look into the different numbers, starting with cholesterol. There's a lot of different types of cholesterols and a lot of different numbers here. So I'm not going to go into them in detail, but there is, this information is really easy to find if you even Google it. So when you get your test scores, a lot of times they don't go over them with you, and it can be really confusing. So I just encourage you all to do your own research and compare your numbers. What is the average healthy, high, low numbers, and just kind of get familiar with that. And then move from there on what you need to work on with your diet and lifestyle.
Awesome. So we'll dive into the three areas where you can make a difference. The first being nutrition. So, what we're putting into our bodies each day, fitness, and stress relief, which is a big one for men. And I think may be easier for women to find different outlets for stress relief. And so it's really important to keep that in mind for what men can do specifically to relieve some of the stress, because a lot of times they may be the main household income, or very driven in their career or whatever it may be, but finding that outlet is key as well. So nutrition, this one, it was pretty shocking as well. Only 4% of men say they eat the 9 servings of recommended fruits and vegetables a day. That is part of a healthy lifestyle. So very minimal amount. And that's not just men. Many women also did not get that 9 servings of fruit and veggies. But so important for our everyday health and mental clarity, to make sure that we are fueling our body with good nutrition. The good news is trends are definitely changing. Millennials are more health conscious than the older generations, and you may notice this as well. But millennials are more conscious about eating right compared to the older generations, so 24% compared to the 14 and 12%. Exercising for millennials is also a top priority um, compared to the older generations. But it's important to keep this in mind and also to be that positive influence on the people around you. So good nutrition supports a healthy lifestyle and weight. Here are just a few tips for what you can introduce into your daily um, diet in order to get, feel your best and be able to fuel whatever activities you have going on throughout your day. So eating a variety of foods, including 7 or more servings of colorful fruits and vegetables. This is not including juices. Getting plenty of whole grains, beans, and legumes, and choosing high quality meats, fish, poultry, and dairy. A lot of times we talk about quality is essential. You can go to Walmart and get the, frozen hamburgers that are on sale, but the nutrients that are going to be in that compared to, grass-fed beef from a ranch nearby is pretty phenomenal, the difference. So just being conscious of the quality of what you choose is really important. Making sure we're eating lots of healthy fats. So omega-3s, olive oil and nuts, seeds, including those throughout our day is really key. A lot of times we think of carbs as fuel, and Mackenzie has a really great video all about healthy fats and how if we can rely more on fats to fuel, like our workouts, fuel our day, the difference you'll see in your energy and your body by kind of trading out fats for carbs. And then avoiding all trans fats found in processed and fast foods. And this one I know can be hard for my husband, who's right here. It's hard when you're on the go and or craving something specific to avoid those things. So a lot of times we try to take our favorite meals, whatever those are, even fast food meals, whatever they are, and just try to make a healthier version at home. So not taking the things we love completely out of our diet, just finding a healthier way to make it so that we can still feel great after the meal. So one way to really fill those nutritional gaps that we're talking about is through our Shaklee Vitalizer. My husband and I both started on Vitalizer when we started Shaklee about 3 years ago, so I'll have him share here in a minute. But I love this slide because it really shows all the nutrition you get in this single strip. So for those of you who are very active and busy lifestyles, have a lot of demands at work, nutrition may not be your main focus. And so adding this into your day can make a huge impact on your overall health. And you can see all of the nutrients that just one strip includes. And this is specific for men. So they have a men's version, a women's version, and also a over 50 version. If you look at the little strip, the red supplement is omegas and antioxidants. The green is our Vital E multivitamin that has 7 clinical studies behind it, proven absorption, which a lot of times you're not going to find in the synthetic vitamins that are out on the market, as well as the B complex, which is the yellow, and a probiotic. There's some background music now.
Somebody's jamming.
I'm sure you've heard of the importance of probiotics in your diet, and so it's really convenient that this strip includes that as well. Something interesting about the probiotic is if you have any idea of the probiotics on the marketplace, some have to be refrigerated, some you can find on the shelf. Some claim to have billions and billions of strands in them, or live cultures. And Shaklee Shaklee's Optiflora contains 500 million live cultures, and they're proven to be live all the way into your large intestine, where they're supposed to be dispersed, basically, where they're supposed to be used. A lot of probiotics out there are killed in the stomach acid, and so they're never making it into the large intestine, and therefore not doing anything for your body. And why 500 million? 500 million is the most your body can absorb at one time. And so if you're taking a probiotic that has 25 billion live cultures in it, you're basically paying, for cultures that you're not even going to be using. So with Shaklee ensuring that it's going to make it there, they know how much you need, and so that's why they only include that many. So I thought that was just an interesting way. Mackenzie will get into the Shaklee difference a little bit more here, but one way that Shaklee really sets itself apart, it's not about having the most of something or all these different claims. It's really backed by scientific research. So I'd love for you to share, babe. If you could share a little bit. You started Vitalizer 3 years ago, as well as the Life Shakes, and just kind of the difference you felt when you first started.
Sure. So when we started, I knew I was in need of something to kind of fulfill all the gaps in my diet. And I think if you look at this screen alone, you can kind of see that most people aren't consuming that stuff on a daily basis. It's hard, even if you had all day to go grocery shopping and eat food to consume that kind of stuff. So I think that's one of the biggest things. We've stayed on some form of the strips since we started Shaklee. And as far as what I noticed, it's probably just, feel good, but is energy on a daily level. I used to work behind a desk all day, and I used to have a really hard time maintaining my energy through the day. I'd eat and have spikes of energy, and I just felt like a more balanced level of energy on the vitamin strips.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so my husband is with our little one right now. I wish he could share his testimony, but he had the same results that you did, especially with energy, really revolving around his workouts. He noticed a huge difference when he started taking his Shaklee nutrition, that he could work out harder and longer, and really felt that energy boost. So let's dive into more about Shaklee. So why not go to GNC or Walmart or wherever you get your vitamins and get a multivitamin there? What's the difference between that and going to Shaklee? So for those of you who've never heard of Shaklee before, they have a very rich history. They've actually been around for over 100 years. Dr. Shaklee invented the first multivitamin in 1915. So Shaklee is not a fad that has popped up. It's not something like super cool that everybody's doing. Shaklee has a lot of history and integrity behind their products, and they have changed, right along with our culture and our needs of our bodies. We are dealing with a lot more stuff these days than we did 100 years ago. So we really need to fill those nutritional gaps in order to really thrive for optimal nutrition. So Dr. Shaklee was the founder. His vision was everything should be in harmony with nature, which I will get to the purity and the organic in a minute. But really that everything we do should be in harmony with nature. And on the right here, you're going to see Roger Burnett, who is now the visionary of the company. He's the CEO who has really taken Shaklee's vision and carried it into 2017, which is really truly amazing to have that same message being carried across from 100 years ago to today, that everything should be safe, organic, pure, and in harmony with nature. So purity and safety, everything beyond organic. So organic is just a method of growing. So a lot of things can be labeled organic if they are grown a certain way. but that doesn't ensure the purity all the way through the processing and when your supplements actually go into the packaging. That doesn't ensure that it is pure of contaminants, pesticides, chemicals, anything like that. So that is how Shaklee stands out. We go above and beyond organic. We make sure that we look at all the ingredients, making sure they're pure and potent from the creation of the product to the delivery of the customer. They do this by doing over 100,000 quality tests per year. They screen for over 350 contaminants, which is over 100 of, they test for over 100, they do over 100 tests beyond organic. And then this is also 3 times the required amount that the pharmaceutical companies have out there. So really, all of our products, we like to say, are beyond organic because we ensure that they are safe and pure from the beginning all the way to the end. So when you switch to a different brand, you want to make sure that they have the research to back it up. You want to make sure if you're spending money and time investing in this company that it actually works. So Shaklee has over 120 published papers, scientific presentations, and more than 70 patents and patents pending. So really important when you look into a company, and Shaklee is so unique and special because it has that long history and integrity that they are able to do research and have that background and knowledge to support their products so they can ensure people that they work and that they are safe.
Absolutely. So sometimes, I know specifically in the younger generation, we tend to look for quick fixes. We don't a lot of times look for long-term health. Like what are we doing today that's going to ensure our health through the rest of our life? And so Shaklee did a study, and it was a 20-year longitudinal study. And it was actually done by UC Berkeley. So Shaklee went to UC Berkeley and said they were looking for a long-term study to show the effects of their supplements on users. And UC Berkeley took it on, but said, whatever we find, we're going to publish. And Shaklee said, great. So they looked at Shaklee users. They looked at people who use different supplements and then people who use no supplements at all. And what they found was pretty remarkable. So over this 20-year span, these individuals had 33% lower levels of triglycerides, which is a heart health factor, 11% lower cholesterol ratios, 36% lower levels of homocysteine, which is a key indicator for brain health, and 59% lower levels of C-reactive protein, which is biological stress. And a lot of chronic diseases can be measured from that C-reactive protein. So that's a huge number to have almost 60% lower levels compared to the people who took other supplements and the people who did not take supplements at all. And the other interesting part about this study was that in a lot of the different components of this study, the people who actually took no supplements rated better than the people who took other supplements. So Shaklee users had remarkably better across the board, but then there are some different instances where it was interesting to see that not taking a supplement was better than a different kind of supplement. And the reason for that is over 90% of supplements on the market are synthetic, and our body does not recognize synthetic vitamins or proteins or whatever supplements you may be taking. And so our body reacts much differently to those than a whole food source, which is how Shaklee vitamins are sourced. So just a very interesting study. And if you go to, I believe it's landmarkstudy.com, you can see in detail the report from the study and all the findings. So in addition to having that longevity and the research, it's really proven by people and some of the top athletes around the world. So Shaklee's Pure Performance team has brought home 137 medals at the games. And I know Mackenzie and I have both been able to hear different Olympians speak at different things over the years. And it's pretty incredible to hear them, speak about their journey, but speak about the amount of drug tests that they are have to go through, upwards of a thousand, in their career. And they can't have any trace of anything in their system. So it's pretty incredible to hear from these athletes how they only trust Shaklee, especially with supplements, because they know that they're pure and safe, and that they won't have anything in their system that is not supposed to be. And that's not true for a lot of companies out there. So something special. Another interesting fact is that we got to hear NASA Commander Mark Kelly and then Captain Scott Kelly speak at last year's conference. They are NASA astronauts, and they have both been on Shaklee for years and years and years. Shaklee partnered with NASA in the 90s to create a hydration drink for the astronauts as they were re-entering orbit. It's a scary time where the astronauts get really dehydrated, and so they needed a really great hydration drink, and they went to Shaklee to make them one, basically. And so in the sports nutrition language that we'll go over next, the performance is basically the same thing that these astronauts use, which is pretty incredible. So I always say, if it's good enough for Olympians and astronauts, then it's good enough for my couple mile runs. So safe, proven, and 100% guaranteed. So this was the vitalizer strip that we talked about a little bit ago that Pete started on. You can see all of the great benefits to it. Supports heart, immune, joint, digestive, prostate health, physical energy, and healthy blood pressure as well. So all those key factors that men are looking for. Something unique to Shaklee as well is the smart delivery system. And so every single supplement is ensured to be dispersed at the right place at the right time. So you can see, the different absorption of the different supplements. And there's another really neat graphic showing exactly where in the body that they are dissolved. And there's a specific reason for each one. So just, again, it has the science and the research to back it up, and you're paying for quality. You're definitely, paying for these nutrients to be ensured to be delivered into your body.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about the Shaklee Life Shake, which is one of my husband and I's favorite Shaklee product. This really is for anybody, whether you are trying to lose weight, gain weight, or maintain weight. But this slide really highlights being able to use the Life Shake as a meal replacement, which really helps with weight loss and also filling those nutritional gaps. So the importance of just losing 5 to 10% of body weight can really significantly help your health. Stored fat has a lot of issues that go on inside your body. So when you get rid of that, your body can really thrive and function and do what it's really meant to do. And that's really what the Life Shake is designed to do, is help burn that fat, but keep that muscle, which everybody wants that good muscle, but no fat, right? So the Life Shake is perfect for that. Contains 16 grams of protein. Leucine is really the magic man behind everything in the shake. So that's really what helps build that muscle and keep that weight off. So this is a Life Shake. It comes in different flavors. My favorite is vanilla, but it also comes in chocolate, cafe latte. They're running a summer special of peach right now. I believe it's almost nearly sold out, but they do some fun new flavors every now and then. So really something for everybody. It is free of artificial sweeteners, preservatives, flavors, non-GMO, gluten-free, lactose-free, low glycemic, which means when you drink it, a lot of times things that are high glycemic go straight to your blood sugar, which spike your blood sugar. You get like a high and then you crash really hard. So Shakti Life Shake is low glycemic, so you don't get that crash, but you slowly do feel that energy. And so it's just a really great quality protein. A lot of proteins out there, like you would get at GNC or even a Whole Foods store, a lot of times the ratios between the carbs and the protein and the sugars are way out of whack, so much that your body can't absorb it, one, but utilize it, two. So that goes back to really the science behind Shaklee and really testing the exact ratios that our body needs to really thrive and function the best that it possibly can. So just some other health benefits, more energy. I like to do this first thing in the morning. Gets me a boost of energy to get throughout the day. It has added omegas, which is fish oil, great for brain health, anything from your muscles being repaired. And a lot of us are really deficient in good quality omegas. I talked about the healthy weight part, but also one of the most important things, one of my favorite things about this shake is it's really good for digestion. It has the probiotics that Rachel talked about, so you really get the full health spectrum with this shake as well. It goes right perfect along with the Vitalizer Strip.
Awesome. So Pete, I love that I put his picture in here. But I wanted him to share quickly about his results when we first started 3 years ago. This was a 3-week difference, and so he can share a little bit about how we started and talking a little bit about how we utilize maybe the soy shakes, because a lot of times men steer clear of soy, and if it's sourced and processed in the correct manner, soy is actually a really great form of protein because it has all 9 essential amino acids. So do you mind sharing a little bit about your your transformation?
Sure. So yeah, when we first started, we got the the turnaround kit with the Vitalizer, and that's a pretty extensive package. It has a lot of stuff that you can use throughout the day that really makes it easy, which I liked, because at the time I'd always struggled trying to find healthy snacks and food, and that was not terrible. And at the in the office environment, there's always somebody bringing in just junk food and chips and going out to lunch every day. So for me, this made it really easy. Like Rachel said, that was 3 weeks, and you know, I worked hard too. I mean, I won't say I just sat around and did nothing, but I was in the gym for those 3 weeks, and really the only meal that I had to worry about every day was dinner, and we ate healthy dinners. But it was nice having the shakes, which I take always once a day, sometimes twice a day. The meal bars, which are an easy meal, which you can eat anywhere. And then the snack bars you can throw in there as well. So between all those, you won't be hungry. And that gets you to 1 meal a day, and it's easy to make 1 meal a day that's, healthy and complete and doesn't need to be junk food. And yeah, the results show in these pictures, but I've maintained a lot of the stuff throughout the last 3 years. Some of it, is along with everything else in life, I've changed and varied, and my workout routines have changed as well. But there's certain things that everybody, I think, falls in love with, and that becomes a part of your routine every day. And the shakes are something that I think are kind of a foundation, as well as the vitamins, whether it's the Vitalizer or the other strips or some form of those. I mean, I think the evidence is in the previous slide speaks for itself. It's the fact that, and I've seen a lot of these slides over the years as well, but it's pretty amazing that that stuff shows. And it's not, to Rachel's point earlier, it's not like Shaklee's doing these tests so they're skewed. They're tests that are done outside of their control. And the fact that some of them come back, people are healthier on no vitamins than taking just some of that crap that you can buy at the store is pretty crazy. But in any case, I think we've found that the vitamins, the Vitalizer, whatever, are a critical part of our routine and our health. And then the shakes as well. We always have the shakes in our house. We take them a lot. Our son takes them. Everybody takes them. And then as far as my go-tos now, I mean, the workout, I pretty much pull a little bit of everything in, especially the physique. I'm a big fan of that. And as a supplement rather than, protein shakes people take after their workouts, I always take the physique. And energy chews, I used to be, before these days, I used to take pre-workout stuff. And, I didn't think much about it, but when you start to think back on some of the stuff you've taken and the effects it's had on you, it's clearly not healthy stuff. And sure, it gives you energy, but a lot of times it's sporadic energy that gives you the jitters and, sometimes gives you stomach aches and all these weird effects that it has on you. And the energy chews are, a much more mild, I guess, I don't know what the right word is, but like a linear energy that's not like a big spike and then a crash. And the performance as well, I use a lot of that when I do workouts or back when I used to race, keep me hydrated. And like I said, I vary all this depending on the activities I'm doing or the, what I'm trying to achieve at the time, but it's all always great and it has the results you need. And happy.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. I think one thing to note is that in this first picture, you've always worked out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until adding in, I think really specifically the shakes with having that leucine in it made such a difference in your physical. You had always tried to achieve specific results. And, until you added in these supplements, you finally were able to achieve what you wanted to.
Yeah, that's worth noting. I mean, it's not like that before picture was me after 3 years of sitting on the couch eating ice cream. I mean, I was still doing the same routine then. I just was supplementing it differently.
Sure.
So yeah, it's kind of crazy what 3 weeks will do of, cutting out all crap and adding in much healthier stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah, for sure. Well, we'll kind of jump to the end a little bit and wrap this up.
Bacon
I quickly, I do want to touch base on the sports nutrition line real quick, but I do want to quickly talk about stress because I think that is something that is very prevalent in everybody's lives and definitely overlooked. So things that really trigger stress. Eating not only high-fat foods, I should say high trans fat foods like fast foods can really amplify the stress that you have in your body. Also smoking, drinking, too much alcohol, and caffeine also can amplify stress as well. So if you're feeling like jittery or have anxiety, really watch that caffeine intake. I know my husband and I see a specific correlation with that. And then also not getting enough exercise can really contribute to those stress triggers as well. So this is a very basic slide. Of course, everybody knows what to do, just a lot of times we don't do it. But just really focusing on exercising, staying positive, meditate if you can, unplug, get outside, away from technology really helps as well. So let's jump into the sports nutrition. Rach, do you want to go ahead and talk about those?
Yeah, and Pete touched on this a little bit, but this is what he uses. And it's great for women as well. I use this while I was doing training for half marathons, but they have a great before, during, and after sports nutrition line. And gosh, if I don't take the energy chews before a run, I feel it for sure. So yeah, just incredible. And to know that it's pure and safe. Sports nutrition in particular tends to have a lot of crap in it, honestly. And a lot of people don't think twice about it. And it can have really, really detrimental long-term effects. And so having something that's pure and safe is really important. And to feel amazing on it and not, jittery or really pumped up or, all those things that you get from other supplements out there is important because our bodies aren't designed to go through that kind of stress. So here's a great combo, the sports nutrition line and then the men's vitalizing pack plan. Whoever invited you, make sure to talk to them specifically about your needs, but this is a really great way to start if you're interested in getting started on filling those nutritional gaps. And then if you do work out, adding in that sports nutrition and feeling the difference. So there's 3 ways to get started: use, share, and build. A lot of times people start as members and then love the products and begin sharing with friends pretty naturally. And so they end up making a little bit of money back. So again, whoever invited you, make sure to talk to them about the best way for you to get started if you are not already a member. But we just want to thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate your time and we hope you got something out of the health chat and can make some positive changes in your life for your health. So thanks so much.
Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Have a great night.